Hey guys, this is Lee here, and this video may be one of the most important videos I'm ever going to make, especially if you're looking to buy a brand new boat in the near future. Now it's the winter of 2026. It's the season for boat shows, and some of you might want to go to these boat shows to maybe buy a new boat, maybe even like a Sunfish. Now, in the history of the Sunfish, it had several builders, which started out with Alcourt, AMF, Sunfish Laser, Vanguard, and Laser Performance, or LP for short. And way back in 1969, AMF also created the Sunfish Class Association. The Sunfish Class Association was formed to conduct and sanction official racing for the Sunfish Sailboat. Now, for several years, Laser Performance, or LP, has been the official builder with international status of the Sunfish Sailboat. Over the years, the Laser Performance group did not do a great job with supplying boats, parts, and spare parts for people with used boats, and it has become a real big problem over the last several years. So the International Sunfish Class Association, ISCA, did things to start to develop protocols so the owners of the Sunfish Sailboat can get parts and boats when they are needed. They developed a plan over the last several years to start to try to divest themselves from Laser Performance. The class association tried to work with Laser Performance, and they tried to negotiate how they could get better equipment supplies when Laser Performance kept on failing at supplying parts and support for years for the sailors. The class association decided to start to take steps in order to make sure the sailors can get their parts. So they decided to get different parts suppliers and improve the supply chain. Eventually, all negotiations came to a halt and nothing could be decided between LP and the class. And the class decided to look for a different builder for the Sunfish. They decided to create a bid system where boat builders can bid on trying to capture the building rights to the new sailboat. The International Sunfish Class Association decided, after a rigorous process that took a couple of years, to go with Zim Sailing. Now, shortly after the class association decided to go to Zim Sailing, Laser Performance declared that they are shutting down their doors and ceasing all production of all sailboats. Now, this is where the wrinkle comes about. Even though Laser Performance closed their doors and they weren't making any sailboats, meaning they weren't making lasers, they weren't making Sunfish or their other boats, they still owned the trademark Sunfish and also the name Sunfish. So the new builder, Zim, did not have the rights to use the Sunfish on their new boats. And the International Sunfish Class Association were not allowed to use the Sunfish. Now, here's a different angle now. Cerro Innovations, which is another boat builder, obtained the rights, and I made a video back last year about them obtaining the rights to the logo and to the Sunfish name. And they decided to use their Sunfish and the logo on their sailboat, which is the Sunfish. Now, this is where the meat of this video is going to occur. There is a boat called the Sunfish, and there also is a boat built by Zim that's not called the Sunfish. It's called the ISCA, which is the International Sunfish Class Association. And there's many differences in what happens with this boat. If a novice just looks at the boats, they will not notice the difference between the Cerro Innovations built Sunfish and also the Zim. They look the same, they're the same dimensions, the curves are the same, but there's differences in the techniques of building them. The Cerro Innovations boats are built like they were from Laser Performance. The Zim ISCA sailboats are built like the older Sunfish. So if you're liking this content, or if you know someone that could benefit from this content, please share the video with them to inform them of the news that's what's going on. Don't forget to smash that like button. I really appreciate it. Now, that's not the only difference here. We got a little bit of an issue that I'm going to tell you right now. Now, if you remember me saying a minute ago how the International Sunfish Class Association or the United States Sunfish Class Association sanctions sunfish sailboat racing all over the world. Now, one of the guidelines on being a class legal boat is that they have to be built by the class approved builder, which is Zim Sailboats. Now, Cerro, they actually build a Sunfish branded boat, and it looks like the Sunfish that everyone knows and loves. However, it is not class legal. So what does that mean to you? It means that the Sunfish Class Association has a direct ear to the builder, and also that the new class sailboats will be sailed by the best sailors in the world, and they will be raced, tested, and evaluated under true racing conditions. Now, here's another way to look at it. Car manufacturers have racing teams like Porsche, BMW, and Toyota Racing Development. Now, with these racing teams, the manufacturers can see what works under racing and stressful conditions. And if something works, they know to stick with that thing. Now, if something goes wrong, the manufacturer also knows that that needs to be adjusted. This is the same thing with the class association and the racers who race. This is the racing development team. Now, if you've been watching my channel for any time now, you might have seen the modifications like the Gens rig, the gust adjust, the mast cleat, and the 3-to-1/2-to-1 main sheet system. Over the past 15 or 20 years, the International Sunfish class has developed and evaluated all these improvements that were added to the equipment list that could be used by all sailors, by having a more diverse size sailor being able to sail in more wider conditions. And when you have more people able to sail, it's just more enjoyable. Now, with more people being able to enjoy the boat in wider conditions and heavier conditions, it also created new stresses that previous builders never had to deal with. Now, if you consider the membership and all the racers who sail in Sunfish class events as part of the development team, all the input from these racers can go straight to the manufacturer. And now, if there's an issue, the manufacturer can address them. So at the recent World Championships, 85 world-class sailors sailed in 2 regattas in all sorts of conditions, including heavy conditions. It was found that several boats had an issue. After analyzing the situation and making a diagnosis, the builder Zim, who was on site at Salinas Yacht Club, decided to make a modification to the internal part of the boat. I personally sailed in a World Championship, and I was happy to see the expedient response of the situation and how Zim dealt with it. And saying this, the championship was all about how good the sailing was, how Salinas Yacht Club hospitality was second to none, and the excellent sailing by world champion Simon Gomez Ortiz. A few days ago, I got a message from one of my viewers. His name is Randy, and he was at the Toronto Boat Show, and he messaged me, and he said he saw a dealer at the boat show, and they were selling Sunfish branded sailboats, and he went up to the dealer, and he asked them, is this a class legal boat? He told me that they explained to him that Laser Performance was out of business, but these boats are class legal. And he asked me on my opinion. So I said to him, I wasn't there, so I couldn't really see the boats. However, if they had Laser Performance built boats left over, those indeed would be class legal. However, if they were made in 2025 or 2026, those were made by Cerro Innovations, and those indeed would not be class legal, because only a Zim built sailboat in 2025 and 2026 are the class legal boats that are brand new. But sometimes a dealer will have a leftover LP boat, and that would be class legal. This is confusing, but I'm trying to clarify this for you. Now, here's another wrinkle. I didn't see his second part of the text. Then he said, well, I don't want to spend $8,000 to get a boat that might not be class legal. And he did show me an advertisement for Sailor Innovations with the Sunfish logo and Sunfish on the side. And I looked at it and I said, ooh, if this is the boat that the dealer is talking about and it says Sailor Innovations with the Sunfish, that would not be class legal. So I'm not sure what went on there, what boat they were saying, but the boat in the Sailor Innovations that says Sunfish or Soul, those are not class legal. And one other thing, I created a store with the links down in the description below, and I'm going to be populating it over the next coming weeks and months with special Sunfish and ISCA related items, which are kind of unique. For instance, I got the special soaps for sailors. So check out the description below, and I hope to get some really unique things that are unique to my shop. So check it out. One other thing I want to be completely transparent about, I'm not sponsored by Zim Sailboats or Sailor Innovations. If anything, I'm sponsored by 6-7. But really, in my opinion, it's unfortunate that we have to go through this confusion here. But stay tuned for another episode soon, because I'm going to be going over the physical differences between a Sailor Innovation Sunfish and a Zim International Sunfish Class Association boat, the ISCA. And that's going to be really informative because there are some major differences in the boat. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section down below. I read all the comments. This is really important because you don't want to make a wrong decision buying a sailboat. And if you have any questions, I'll answer those questions as best of my ability. So if you like this video, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. If you like this video, check out this video right here. Thanks, and I'll see you on the water.